Good day guys, nice to have you here. Today we'll discuss the top banned heroes and how you can counter them. I'm sure someone will say, just ban them, but guys, banning isn't always the best solution. Banning is supposed to be utilized in order for you to get rid of heroes that counter your picks. Stop banning heroes simply because you don't know what to do against them. And start banning heroes strategically in order to eliminate the enemies from countering your pick, especially picks against your carry heroes or what some people call core heroes. By the way, junglers aren't always the core heroes. I see a lot of question marks and I'd love to talk about that more, but that topic deserves its very own video. If you'd like me to discuss the different types of carries or core heroes, let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, this is why making the right decisions as early as the drafting phase is very important. Yin is the weirdest ban I have ever seen. He's been consistently on the ban list despite not being as powerful as what most people think. Just to be clear, I'm not saying Yin is weak. I for one love picking him and he works tremendously well on any lane. In my opinion though, he should never be your priority when it comes to banning. The only time he should be banned is when your strategy centers around a squishy support such as Rafaela, Angela, or Estes. This is because Yin's ability to isolate and teleport his target into a different dimension is an excellent way of eliminating the enemy team's healing source. Also, such heroes, even when equipped with defensive equipment, can still be dealt with easily by Yin as long as he has a good combination of damage and penetration equipment. If you have the typical lineup though with well-picked heroes, Yin is not someone to fear. Most skill casting fighters, especially when built with a combination of damage and defensive equipment, are heroes that can defeat Yin very easily. Hilda, Thomas, Muzhong, Sun, and Deroth, just to name some, are excellent picks. Battle mages or those with good survivability and decent damage output are also picks that will zero out Yin, such as Esmeralda, Alice, Harith, Kagura, and Lunox. As for assassins, anyone with superb dashing and blinking capabilities, especially those with immunity, will be able to outplay Yin easily. Especially now since Yin received adjustments and had some nerfs when he was first released. It'll be easier for heroes like Hayabusa, Lancelot, Gushan, and Benedetta to outplay and defeat him even in his own domain. In fact, there are even marksmen who can also outplay him in his own domain. Some examples are Melissa, Moskov, Nathan, Wanwan, and Edith. The verdict: Yin is an excellent pick against lineups with squishy supports, especially those that become almost useless without their teammates. However, he is awful against a lot of heroes. To be specific, heroes that are tanky enough to survive his barrage, or duelists that specialize in 1v1 matchups, or heroes with a mixture of superb mobility and high damage output. For worst case scenarios or situations when your pick is vulnerable or weak against Yin, using Wind of Nature for marksman heroes and Winter Truncheon for mages can help you survive. Valentina is definitely a monster of a mage and has very few weaknesses. However, you should keep in mind that Valentina really is only as good as the ultimates she can copy. And there are tons of ultimates that when copied by Valentina aren't very effective. If Valentina copies from Gushan, she's only able to dash. With Guinevere, since she lacks airborne abilities, the ultimate will deal very little damage. While it's true it'll work with her teammates' airborne control abilities, that will however force her to work with good synergy with the rest of the team. Valier is another example. With his ultimate, she only gains the one-time cleansing effect it provides. Masha's ultimate also doesn't benefit her much. Not only will it deal very little damage, it will also force her to lose some of her HP, which is not a good news considering how squishy Valentina is. She also barely benefits from carry because of how important attack speed is in using her ultimate effectively, and since Valentina is not built with attack speed in mind, and since her base attack speed itself is very slow, her performance using her ultimate is very underwhelming. Some other heroes that have less effective ultimates when used by Valentina are Fanny and Harith. Can you think of other heroes that Valentina doesn't benefit much from? Tell everyone in the comment section below. Now of course, this is most effective only if you know the proper picking sequence. If the enemies pick Valentina first, then that's good because you'll be able to pick the right heroes that she won't be able to heavily benefit from. And in the event they don't pick Valentina, pick heroes first that she doesn't do well against, such as any of the heroes we discussed earlier, then if necessary, get her as the third pick. Karina is a very powerful hero, especially on the early game. One of the best ways of dealing with her is having a beefy mid laner. Contrary to popular belief, the mid lane is not limited to only mages and can be a very good lane for fighters as well, or any hero with very fast clearing abilities and high survivability. Because of how squishy the first few minion waves are, having heroes like Grok, Hilda, and Terizla on the mid lane can be very difficult for Karina because having such heroes assisting both the top and bottom lane limits her ability to kill streak. When playing against Karina, limit your squishies to only 2 heroes and make sure that they are either in the jungle or is defended well by a roaming support. Since Karina will not be able to easily snatch your squishies, she won't be able to easily scale heavily early. Avoid heroes as well that rely heavily on basic attacks, especially marksmen, since her first skill renders her immune to such attacks. Instead, utilize skill casters, especially those with crowd control effects. Keep in mind, Karina, despite being an assassin, doesn't have a skill that allows her to block crowd control effects. Wanwan is a very powerful marksman with a cleansing ability, making heroes like Cho close to useless against her. However, she has very weak damage output on the early game and has a very slow movement speed. With that being said, it's highly suggested to keep hunting her as much as possible and use her as a means of gaining golden experience faster by taking her down. Of course, heroes like Phoveus and Kufra work great against her because of their abilities that are both designed to work well against dash and blink heroes. In addition to those two heroes, heroes with instant suppression also work great against her, such as Kaja and Franco. And unlike most other control effects, suppression cannot be removed by cleansing abilities such as Wanwan's second skill. Lolita is another excellent pick against her because of her reliance in hitting all weakness markers. With Lolita's second skill, completing Wanwan's combo will be very difficult. Heroes with long immunity or long immunity duration can also work well against Wanwan, such as Ling. Just make sure to use common sense when playing against Wanwan and use Ling's mobility to keep attacking her, and only use Ling's ultimate once necessary or when Wanwan's ultimate is halfway through its duration. Argus, despite being an off-meta hero, is also a good pick against her. His ability to keep chasing his target is superb, plus his ultimate, which prevents death, is an excellent protection against Wanwan's ultimate. What makes him a great pick against Wanwan is also the fact that his ultimate has a very short cooldown, while Wanwan's ultimate has one of the longest cooldowns in the game. And of course, if all else fails and you happen to have a hero that doesn't fare well against her, having Winter Truncheon for mages or Wind of Nature for marksmen helps in surviving against her attacks. Another key equipment is Dominance Ice. Remember I told you that Wanwan has very low movement speed. To make up for this weakness, she utilizes her pouncing ability, which scales according to her attack speed. And since Dominance Ice slows her attack speed, that also means you get to slow her pouncing speed. If applicable or if it suits your hero, Vengeance also works wonders in making her ultimate damage not as relevant as it should be. Julian is a very overrated hero. Sure, he has great skill combos and is very disruptive because of his control abilities, but keep in mind that Julian doesn't have a target locking ability. All of his skills can be dodged easily by heroes with good mobility. It doesn't even have to be a dash or blink skill. I myself am a Hilda main, and all I do against Julian is a well-executed stutter step, with the help of her first skill, which can force most, if not all, Julian players to mess up their combos. Heroes like Lancelot, Gushan, Cho, Ling, and Sun, just to name some, are very effective picks against him. There are many more heroes to choose from, and all boils down on how good or bad you are in controlling such heroes. That concludes our Mobile Legends content for today. Do you have other suggestions in dealing against these pesky heroes? Would you like me to cover other heroes as well? Let me know in the comment section below if you want a part 2. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stay safe, everyone. Peace.